Hello everyone and welcome back to Send Its Weather channel. Well, I'm back looking at the latest from the models for the next couple of weeks. We're going to be having a look at the latest from the main set of model runs from the midday set. See what they are showing for the general trends as we start September and beyond. So if you do enjoy today's video and find it informative, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. You may have also noticed that we've got the Send It merch on. Cheers to James for that. We've got plenty of different stuff. We've got mouse mats, you can see, it's quite hard to see. Mouse mats and loads of different stuff, and I'll be featuring them a few more times in later videos. Thanks to him for that. But anyway, let's get on with the video. So at the moment we've got low pressure set out just to our west. That's bringing in some much needed rainfall to many parts of the country, particularly in the west. As we go into the start of next week, areas of low pressure push through the country. You can see Wednesday an area of low pressure pushed into the north of the UK and southern Scotland, bringing much needed rainfall to many parts in the north. But as we go beyond, high pressure begins to re-establish itself as we get a cut-off low developing to our west, and we get high pressure developing back to our east. You can see low pressure to our west, high pressure's back to our east. Winds turn to more of a southerly direction, turning things slightly milder, or warmer as you could say, but nothing too ridiculous for a time. Before again, low pressure begins to push in from off the Atlantic briefly, before into the latter part of next week. You can see, or the week after next week, I should say, in 2 weeks' time, high pressure begins to build and re-establish over into our south. So heights are rising again, and we are turning things milder for a change. 10 degrees firm through the country. High pressure's re-establishing itself over the top of the country, turning things much drier and milder again into the second week of September, 16th of September. Far as we can go, high pressure's dominating once again. There has been quite strong hints of this from the models as of late, so we'll have to see how things do develop. Moving on to the GEM to see how similar it is by comparison. By comparison, you can see low pressure again out to our west. Moving to our north, another area of low pressure moves in around Wednesday, bringing much needed rain to the west and the northwest of the UK into southern Scotland. That clears away to our northeast and winds turn more Atlantic driven. Now with the GEM again, we've got that trough of low pressure stuck to the south of Iceland and Greenland, and we turn the wind to more of a southerly direction once again, turning things milder briefly. But with this run, things quickly settle down. We turn to more of an Atlantic driven flow with areas of low pressure pushing through the country, particularly in the north. It's a very westerly Atlantic driven pattern this is showing. Can see strong northern blocking though around Greenland. Still anticipated. This could be a sign for the winter, and I am not going to talk about that today because it's not a winter video, it's a regular one. But you can see signs of heights building on this run towards Greenland and Iceland and across Scandinavia. Could be a good sign for the winter, but anyway, it's these 3 months out, don't worry about it too much. But moving on to the ECM then, low pressure again, trough out to our west, bringing in that southwesterly wind, turning things milder again. Then into Wednesday, we've got that area of low pressure slightly further south over northern England there. That could bring some rain to northern England. A little bit of uncertainty on the track, but it probably will affect central northern England and southern Scotland in particular, and of course northwestern Ireland as it arrives in. But you can see with the ECM that the trough to our west is less intense, which allows more of a southeasterly flow, which actually drags in some slightly warmer air than the other runs. 10 degrees firm covering the country, 15 degrees firm just encroaching into the southeast there, definitely turning things milder for a time. That trough stays out to our west with the ECM, so maintains things relatively warm, to be fair, or mild for the time of year. You can't see the deviation charts, but that low weakens as it moves to our south, and we turn things again more unsettled briefly before a very similar pattern develops into the final days of this run. So 360 hours, low pressure out to our west again, high pressures to our east and winds in from a southerly direction, also with heights building in the Atlantic as well. As that low clears through the country, you'd expect as it clears to our east, winds would return into more of a northwesterly direction. Interesting to see at the other side of the chart, another ex-hurricane. It looks like an ex-tropical storm developing here. That's quite interesting to see, a very intense area of low pressure. That'll be interesting to see if that actually comes off. Of course, it's probably going to affect Eastern America, like the eastern flank of America. If it was an actual storm, but we'll have to wait and see how things develop with that one. Now, to end off today's video, we'll have a quick look at the CFS, because why not? Just as a bit of an interesting look. And as you can see, we'll skip to December as we normally would. This is going to become a regular feature, by the way. I'm not going to show too much, just a couple of frames, couple of weeks, because why not? But you can see with this, high pressure is to our south. Winds are in from an easterly direction. Actually, it's just to our north, sorry. Winds are in from an easterly direction, so slightly chilly to start December. And then as we move through, high pressure builds. And then this looks really encouraging if it was middle of January, but it's the second week of December. High pressure retrogresses towards Greenland. Winds turn to more of an easterly direction, northeasterly direction, turning things colder. And probably quite wintry as well. It looks like a very cold start to December with this. Heights building to our west, low pressures to our south, trying to encroach from off the Atlantic, and battleground scenario could see heavy snow on its leading edge. Eventually the milder air wins out though, as you can see, it's the third week of December, and we turn things southerly, winds in from the south. Low pressure continues to barrage in from off the Atlantic. Christmas Day, very mild there. Southwesterly winds. A very mild chart, look at that. Proper trough to our west. High pressures to our south and east. And it looks very mild there. Winds in from the southwest. Very mild end to December. But there you go. If we have a look at the diagrams for Aberdeen today, why not? Pretty much the same picture across much of the country. You can see temperature anomalies for the next couple of weeks, remaining mostly around average. There's a little increase into the second week of September, and that's with that trough setting up to our west and high pressure to our east, allowing that southwesterly flow briefly. It's not going to last too long, as you can see. Into the longer term, things go into slightly below average, but not too much deviation from the mean. So a very quiet spell of weather. Obviously, it is a bit more unsettled at times, especially in the north, but not exclusively. There will be plenty more showers than there has been as of late for many parts of the country, I'd expect. But yeah, there you go. Thank you very much for watching today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.